Hi guys! It has been a while since I've sat down and did an update video. I'm going to address the elephant in the room, which is this. 2 weeks ago, not quite 2 weeks ago, but I had my last show and I'm still battling these spray tan woes from that. So yes, I look like I have a skin disease. I'm sorry. I'm doing my best to get it off. I've been like scrubbing like a mad woman. So now it's just like at the weird point where I need to do a few more exfoliations to get that all off. Tip, if you're trying to get off a spray tan, I use a mixture of just sugar, like pure cane sugar, and baking soda. And that helps, but obviously it doesn't help as much as I'd like. So if you have any other tips, leave them down below. I'd love to hear them. Also, it's crazy humid here, like foggy, humid. I kind of love it. It's like summertime, but my hair is a frizz ball. So that's the trade-off there. And my allergies are like mad. Okay, so a week and a half post-show, I am reverse dieting and I'm kind of loving it. My calories are already much higher than they were going into my show, although I have to say the first week, about a week ago, I was suffering because I did my post peak week macros that I was on, and when I was still dieting down for the show, so I could get my body kind of used to adding in calories without shocking it. And that week was so hard. After the show, I had a cheat meal that night. We had pizza and I made sure I had a protein bar with it. I had a Fit Crunch bar that I have been saving, and it was delicious because it like never fits my macros on a normal day. So I saved it for post-show because I knew that I would want to pair protein with whatever cheat meal I had. I never just like have a straight carb cheat meal. I always try to have some protein with it. So I had that, and then the next day we went to the winery on the way home from Indy, and we had the most amazing brunch buffet, and I ate so much I felt like seriously sick. It was smoked salmon, which is like one of my favorite foods. I probably ate like a pound of smoked salmon. They had hand-carved prime rib, like a salad bar, made to order omelets. What else? There was mac and cheese. I had like a little bit of that. It wasn't very good. Fresh grilled asparagus. So it was like good, healthy food. Oh, and cheesecake. And then there was like fresh fruit with whipped cream. So it was good for the most part, healthy, like whole foods, but it was just a lot. Like I ate a lot of food. And we also did a wine tasting there with that. It was called Erdl Cellars. If you're ever in between Indy and Cincinnati, in Batesville, Indiana, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. You should totally check it out for Sunday brunch because it was so good. It was everything a cheat meal should be. It was the perfect post-show indulgence, and Chris and I really enjoyed it. We're actually planning on going back again this summer because it was that good. So if you ever find yourself in the middle of Indiana, you should check that place out. I don't know, their normal menu was awesome too. Like it looked really good. So if you want to pop in there for dinner, I'm sure that it would be just as delicious because brunch was bomb. After that, my weight went up like 10 pounds the next day. So I stepped on stage at like 136, 137. I don't know, I didn't have my scale on me to weigh like my body weight, but the day before we left for Indy, I was 137, so I'm guessing I was like 135, 136. I woke up the next day after Sunday, which was Monday, at I think 146. So a lot of that was water weight, and then I spent the next week on my very low macros, like my post-peak week macros, kind of bringing that weight back down. I wanted to hit 140. I think I hit like 139.8. So I just wanted to like hang out around there before I started my reverse diet. Like the first couple days after that cheat were amazing. I felt so good once like I stopped feeling full, which wasn't until about Tuesday. But my lifts were amazing. I had so much energy. And then Thursday, I kind of crashed and burned because I must have ran through those cheats, or I don't know what was happening with me, but I just had a really, really bad day. I was really, really hungry all day, and I just got in this like terrible bratty mode where I was angry. I was angry that I was hungry. I was angry that I had to like count all my macros so precisely for a week after my show. I don't know how to explain it. I was just mad, and I was being a brat, and I was cranky, and I was like, this sucks. Like, it totally sucks. It's really easy to diet and be hungry when you're about to hit stage. It's really hard to diet and be hungry when the only reason you're doing it is so that you don't crush your metabolism, because you don't have that like end goal. Like, you know it's for your health. You know it's the best way to do things. But you just don't have like that looming goal right in front of your face telling you that like if you eat more, you're not gonna look ideal on stage. So Thursday night, I don't know why, like I said, maybe it's one of those reasons, maybe I was just in a shitty mood, I don't know, but I was pissed. And it was funny because then Friday morning I watched one of Kara Corey's reverse dieting videos, and she was talking about how pissed off she was about reverse dieting, and said she didn't know if she was pissed at the process or just pissed in general. So shout out to Kara, because I totally relate to that. I experienced that, and it's awful because you just feel really angry, but you have nothing to really direct your anger at. So sorry, husband. He probably hated me those couple of days because I hated myself. So this week, macros are higher. Carbs are the same, but fat is much higher. It's 15 grams higher. Protein is 30 grams higher. And I'm feeling really good. I'm having some amazing lifts. I actually have been hitting PRs for this body weight, which they're not like my all-time PRs, because when I was 30 pounds heavier, obviously I was lifting more weight. But I'm happy with how I feel. I'm happy with where I am. I don't feel hungry this week, and I get a cheat meal this weekend. I'll touch on the shows really quickly. If you wanted to see my like post-show thoughts on my first show, I'll link that down below. Compared to my second show, and those two were very different. Still, my second show that I did was my favorite show. It was just run really well. You got in, you got out. Everyone there was so sweet, like just the nicest people. I just love that show. I really liked the indie show, but it was huge. It was such a big show. It was so long. It was so exhausting. We didn't get out there till super late. I'll make sure I link that vlog below too, because I just like, after the show, I didn't even think about vlogging. I was so tired. We got there for athletes like meeting check-in at 8:30 in the morning. I didn't go on stage till 1:30 in the afternoon. Bikini went out last in this most recent show also, which was something that I wasn't a fan of. My last two shows, we went out second, got it over with, got to go get lunch. I hated going out last, and I'm the tallest bikini class, so I went out dead last in a show of over 200 competitors. So it made for a really long day. It was really stressful, and I feel like that showed for everybody who wasn't used to that big of shows. Like, when you're stressed out, it affects your physique, and I don't know if it was like a head thing, but I felt that way. Although I did feel like I looked good. Like, I feel like I looked just as good as I did for Cincinnati. I wanted to look better, but I think it was a pretty even playing field with those two shows. So by the time that we went out for the night show, it was like pushing 10 o'clock at night by the time that Bikini D went out for the night show. So we had been there at 8:30 in the morning and left a little after 10 at night. It was so long. So that was one of the reasons that I wasn't a huge fan of that show, just because I felt like it took forever. But it was a good experience to do a big show. I really enjoyed having like a bigger class and getting to do call outs. That was great. I did get first call outs, like I said in the video, and that video explains more of like what happened that day. But essentially, in a nutshell, I got first call outs, and they told us to get off stage, and then they did their other call outs, and then I was in the back of the stage, like taking off my shoes, ready to go, and they call two of us back out on stage, and I'm running, trying to slip my shoe on, and get back out stage. I have no idea what's going on. Hi, Rex. So I get back out there, and one of the girls that didn't get first call outs was standing there by herself. So it was pretty obvious at that point what was happening. This girl kind of got lost in the shuffle, and they realized that she needed to place. So they called out the other girl and myself, and I'm guessing that we were placed like 4th and 5th or 5th and 6th, and tried to place her against us. And then that girl ended up getting 5th place, who was standing on stage by herself. So I did not place, but I learned things that can happen in shows, like you never know if you have to get called back out. It was like the most stressful experience. I was like freaking out, and I was like, after I got off stage, I felt like crying just because I was so stressed out. But in the moment, I was just like, what the heck? You know, kind of like just threw myself back out there. And yeah, that was that. So it was a super stressful show. But that's kind of like a wrap up of the 3 shows this season. I had such a good time, really, at all of them. I already kind of miss it. I'm going to a show this weekend, which is the show that I was originally going to have as my last show, with a friend who's competing, and I'm like really excited to go. But I don't know, like I don't wish that I was competing, but I feel like when I get there I might. But yeah, it was a good season. I really enjoyed it, and now it's time to build. Just lifting heavy, eating more food, trying to put on more muscle, and I'm enjoying this also. But there is like a little part of me that really misses prepping. I really love the super strict structure. I did struggle a little bit this week with like being more flexible and not having that super rigid, like this meal at 2 o'clock, this meal at 4 o'clock. We ended up having to go out to dinner unexpectedly at the last minute, and it gave me anxiety. And I never want to be that person that's like, no, I can't do this. I didn't plan for this. I didn't put it in my FitnessPal. Like, I went and I made it work, and I got the most simple thing they had on their menu, which was just plain chicken and plain broccoli. And I really am going to work in the off season on being more flexible and not putting like, you know, my hobby before other things, but not putting my hobby before other things. Like, I still want to be really successful and keep doing what I'm doing and really enjoy it, but at the same time, like, family does exist, other priorities do exist, other obligations do exist, and if you go over your macros by like 10 grams of protein because you ate extra chicken that you didn't get to weigh out, like the world's not going to come to an end. And learning that is something that I think is really important in this off season, and I think is something that I'm going to work on. Future plans, I really wanted to compete in the fall again. I know that I'm going to really miss it by then, but that means that I start prep in July, and that's just not enough time for me to build up my metabolism to where I want it to be and build the amount of muscle that I think that I need to go back into shows and do really well. So like talking about like doing well in shows, a lot of the girls backstage are like, well, why don't you just keep going? Why don't you do more shows? And I'm like, because I'm placing pretty consistently in every show that I do. So I'm not going to get better in just a couple weeks. I mean, I could get leaner, which I needed to do, but like my body was fighting me. I was tired. I'd been dieting for a long time. I'd rather take this time, build up my physique, and then next time when I go in and try to win. So my like mental state right now is, yeah, I can probably compete again in the fall and do pretty well, or I can wait and really build and take the time that I need and compete again in the spring and win. And that's kind of where my head is right now. So a year off is like a really long time. And thinking about like not competing for that long kind of like is depressing because I think I'm gonna miss it. But I think it's for the best. And I haven't made a 100% decision yet, but I'm at like 90%. So I just wanted to keep you guys posted and in the loop and be honest with you, and that's kind of where my head is. So I know this was a big, long, rambling video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure that I'll be talking about competitions and each show more in the future, but I just wanted to give you guys like a brief update and let you know where I'm sitting and let you know what I'm thinking. And that's it. It's gonna wrap up this video. Let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see now that I'm not doing competitions, that I'm not in prep. If you want to see like reverse diet updates, I'll still do progress pictures for you and let you know how the reverse diet's going. I'm not afraid to show those pictures just because I'm not getting leaner. I will be obviously putting on some fat while putting on some muscle. That's just how a reverse diet works. So if that's something you guys want to see, you should let me know and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.